Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Boomy and today we are watching our Crocodilians OP by TierZoo. This was suggested to me by Keith Matthew Meir over here. He actually said our alligators OP, but I couldn't find that video, so I'm guessing this is what he means. If not, please send me the link down below and I'll be more than happy to check that one out. Yeah, just in case if you see my eyes being bloodshot red, no, I'm not doing drugs, so no, I am not high, and no, I am not crying. Kinda. I did have a teary eye just a few moments ago. I had 5 consecutive yawns and it made my eyes water, so I can't help it. It's 2:30 in the morning, but I gotta get this one out, so yeah, we're checking this one out. Crocodiles. Up until this point, I am under the belief that the main difference between a crocodile and an alligator is their body and snout. Because I've noticed that alligators have longer and thinner snouts, while crocodiles have like thick and more square-ish snout, and also they have bigger bodies, so maybe somebody will correct me on that, and maybe TierZoo will mention that. Hopefully, because crocodiles are very interesting creatures. Obviously, they have their signature move, the death roll. That if you don't know, this happens when they get a bite out of you. They're gonna roll like crazy until they either rip your limb off or whatever they're biting, or you drown. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they are gonna be high up in the overall tier list because mainly they are one of the apex predators in like swampy areas. Let's see, their hide is really thick as well, so that can count as good body armor. But TierZoo has surprised me a lot with his videos, especially in lowering down what I think is a very highly tiered animal. So I won't be surprised if that happens here, and I'm excited to know if it does. So let's go ahead and check this out. So remember, if you like my reactions, don't forget to leave a like, let me know your thoughts on the video down in the comment section below, and consider subscribing. Also, don't forget to leave your suggestions and what I should check out next. That being said, let's go ahead and watch the video.
This video was made in partnership with CuriosityStream.
Yep, there you go, the death roll. And they get stunned. So that's an alligator,
There are
right?
several factors you can look at to determine where a build belongs on the tier list. Do they have any uniquely overpowered abilities? Are they responsible for major declines in the
Is that a
player bases
coyote?
of other factions? Do they have good matchups against other top tiers?
Hippos.
These are all important, but another good indicator is how long a build's core strategies and stats have stood the test of time.
Horseshoe
if a
crab?
build has managed to succeed across multiple balance matches
Yeah.
and new game expansion.
I forgot to mention that they're probably one of the very few animals that have lived through the prehistoric age. At least they didn't evolve much, so they are literally living dinosaurs. This is probably the closest thing you'll ever get to an actual dinosaur.
That's a great indication that it dominates a highly stable niche in the meta.
Yep.
For example, dragonflies have been one of the top builds patrolling the airspace above swamps and lakes since the Carboniferous expansion. By the same token, sharks have been the dominant marine force since before the terrestrial servers were even added to the game. And while not quite as old as either of these factions, Crocodilians have also had a dominant hold on the same niche since even before the dinosaurs, having survived
Even
several
before
of the
the
harshest updates the game has ever
dinosaurs.
seen. Despite this, I don't think any players are all that surprised at the Crocodilians' extensive domination record.
I did not know that.
I mean, this is a build which combines downright busted stats
Whew.
with arguably the most effective strategy in the game, resource camping. So today I'm going to break down all of the important features of the Crocodilian build and the strategies that they use to win games. Every build has its strengths and weaknesses, so my goal with this video is that it'll be useful as a guide for Croc players trying to optimize their gameplay, but also for other players that need help countering the Crocodilians' infamous strategies. This video is meant to apply to both crocodiles and alligators.
They did not just leap over them like that. That was a wildebeest, right? I gotta see that again, because that looks so dumb.
Croc players trying to optimize their gameplay, but also for other players that need help countering the
Yoink!
Crocodilians' infamous strategies.
Yoink!
This video is meant to apply to both crocodiles and alligators.
Oh yeah, that's right. Despite their slow appearance, crocodilians can run super fast. You'd be surprised at how fast at how fast they could run.
Because even though there are a few subtle differences between the builds, overall their game plan is very similar. Alright, so first, the Croc's biggest strengths. First and foremost is their bite attack. The Croc's bite is the strongest in the game, able to one-shot most low to mid HP targets, and deal serious damage even to the bulkiest players. One important thing to note is that this bite deals crush-type damage, making it one of the few attacks in the game powerful enough to overwhelm most defenses. Even the high-level armor seen in builds like the Turtle and Armadillo aren't enough to stop it. But as powerful and damaging as the Croc's bite is, Crocodilian players actually aren't optimized for direct damage.
Wow.
In fact, most tank
He
builds
got
can
a
recover
chunk.
from a single bite without much consequence. The Crocodilian's strategy revolves around being able to bring down large targets, usually ones that have a high enough base HP to survive several powerful attacks. That's why, despite having the strongest bite force in the game, in terms of pure DPS, a Croc's bite is surpassed by sharks due to their serrated blade-like teeth.
Yeah,
Wow.
they probably have dull teeth, and they just rely on their jaw strength.
A croc definitely could spec into this type of tooth. For the relevant matchups, the crocodile's curved conical teeth are more useful. These teeth make the crocodile's grapple much more difficult to break out of, and this is where the crocodile's ability to take down tank builds really shines through. As their infamous grapple combo, the death roll, is one of the most powerful attacks in the game and can tear through the HP of even the bulkiest players. Let's continue with the croc's other strong points. The most important ones are going to be the two abilities they use to maximize their effectiveness in the water, for both stealth and mobility.
And swimming.
First, their rudder-like tail grants them a massive speed boost.
Ooh, look at that boy
This is what shifts
coming.
many a matchup in their favor when in combat
Oh
in the water,
man.
as most of the Croc's potential targets easily outmaneuver it on land. And second, their nostrils and eyes being situated on top of their heads grants them a unique ability to remain almost completely hidden underwater while still remaining vigilant of their above-water surroundings, and allows them to keep their stamina topped up by not forcing them to hold their breath.
True.
Alright, now let's get into the Croc's weaknesses, and then discuss optimal strategies and counterplay. The Croc's biggest weakness is its reliance on water. This isn't that big a weakness, as just about every player needs to visit a watering hole at some point.
Yep.
If your party migrates, you'll most likely need to cross a river at some point in order to find more food. But even if you play as a non-migratory build, you'll likely still need to top up your thirst meter every so often to avoid
You
serious
should
stamina
not have
drops.
cut in line.
Still, it is a potential vulnerability. If the water in your preferred server begins to dry up, an occurrence that has become more and more frequent in the Anthropocene meta, this can greatly increase the difficulty of your gameplay by removing your stealth and mobility bonuses. Crocodiles don't respawn in the water, and
Okay. I did not know they came in eggs. I've always thought that they lay them like normal animals. But crocs came in eggs?
instead must build
Interesting.
and protect their nests on shore. Objective defense is always a tough portion of any player's
Yeah,
quest
we just saw this
but
video.
doing so in a vulnerable state is even more difficult. Another big weakness is their reliance on the death roll combo to score kills. Even though it's a guaranteed kill if the full combo finishes, executing the entire move requires uninterrupted focus on a single target for a significant period of time. As with most grappler builds, this leaves the user quite vulnerable to attacks from your target's party members. So how can Crocodile players best
And most of its targets are like herd animals, so having a party member nearby is almost always guaranteed.
mitigate this weakness, and how can other players best exploit it? So for Crocodile players, the number one thing you need to prioritize during an attack is dragging your target into deeper water. This accomplishes three things.
You can drown them.
It separates the target from their party. 2, it puts them into a position where their mobility is reduced because of the negative terrain modifier from water. And 3, it inflicts the drowning status effect, quickly
debuff.
draining the target's stamina and reducing the number of opportunities they have to counterattack. Of course, this isn't without risk. Dragging a target requires a lot of stamina, and if your stamina
Wow, it was bold enough to try and take down a whole elephant.
runs out while your target is still struggling to get free,
Damn.
or worse, counterattack. You can mitigate this by attacking alongside other Crocodilian mains, as they can help you drag away your target quicker and reduce.
Oh yeah, that's right. Crocodiles aren't solo players. They also come in packs or whatever you call a group of crocodiles. So, ooh, if enough of them catch you off guard, better hope that death roll just tears the limb right off so they can run away.
Reduce their chances of escape even further. Of course, this means you'll be splitting the loot, but it's worth it for bigger kills. For you non-croc mains watching, obviously the absolute best strategy is simply to be
Oh, it got the lower lip.
large and or strong enough to resist being
Damn.
pulled into the water. If you're the one doing the pulling, the croc player isn't going to continue their attack for long. But if that's not an option, there are still a few tactics you can try to make your odds more favorable. The first is avoiding deep water. If you need to cross a river or find a spot to drink, you'll be safest if the croc would need to drag you a great distance to get you somewhere you couldn't stand. Plus, it's a lot more difficult for a croc to hide in shallow water, so you'll be less vulnerable to surprise attacks. If you're a player
You ain't
with the
slick,
ability
we
to
see
fly
you.
or to climb, you might assume this advice doesn't apply to you, since you can stay out of reach of a croc attack.
Nope.
However,
They could
one
probably
thing to keep in
leap.
mind is that the croc's rudder tail
Yep.
ability has the secondary effect of granting it a greatly increased attack range while in deep water, as it can launch itself a considerable distance to strike targets above the surface.
That is
This is
crazy.
a relatively slow
To think that big a thing can just dive up to you like that. It's crazy. And then again, orcas do that too, so whew.
and highly committal option though. So my advice to flying players is that if you need to approach the surface of the water, keep moving, as striking a moving target would require a pretty insane read on the part of the croc player. It's not impossible though, so don't get greedy. Next, I recommend staying with a tight-knit party that's willing to fight alongside you.
Oh no,
As
the
mentioned
trunk.
before, the croc's death roll combo is vulnerable to being interrupted. So if your teammate is being attacked, you may be able to save them even if your attacks don't do all that much damage. Of
Epic
course,
save.
there may be other crocs around, so you're taking a risk in doing so. But still, crocs really can't do much other than flee to deep water
Wow.
and being attacked from multiple directions.
It's so crazy to see a croc getting ganged up like that, because you wouldn't imagine it. I mean, if a human gets caught, I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10 the others who just stand by and run away. I swear, not a lot of people would risk their life to help someone getting caught by a crocodile.
So coordinated attacks are paramount. This advice also translates for any player trying to loot crocodile nests. This is by no means easy, but since the croc's nest will be on land, the lack of their mobility bonus will make the croc less capable of catching you. The best strategy is to continuously bait out attacks, luring the croc out into the heat.
Yep.
Eventually this will daze the crocodile, allowing you to loot their nest uncontested. If you're a
Interesting.
croc, don't worry though. There are ways to better protect your nest. Making sure there is a patch of shade close to the nest is important to avoid being dazed from the heat exhaustion status effect. Another surprisingly powerful and underutilized strategy is to ally with bird players who also nest in the sand.
Oh,
They can protect your eggs from being looted by the more nimble players, while you can protect their buried eggs from being stomped on by the larger players.
yeah. That's that.
Now, one piece
That's
of
a
advice
good
I see tossed
team
around
up.
is the idea to spec into abilities that would make a croc
Surprising the birds that don't get eaten by the croc. So, I mean, they do have a mutual benefit, so they probably have like an evolved agreement to not attack each other.
crocodile less reliant on water. Things like longer legs, replacing claws with hooves, and so on. These ideas have actually been tried in the past, and have never really caught on. I get a lot of tags on Twitter asking to mention how overpowered terrestrial crocodile builds were. However, I think history shows the opposite. The two main times terrestrial croc builds have surfaced have been during the most chaotic, underdeveloped metas. First, during the
Underdeveloped.
Triassic, aka the expansion that followed the most heavy-handed series of nerfs and bans the game had ever seen. And the Paleogene, the expansion that followed the mass ban that removed dinosaurs and pterosaurs
Mass
from the game.
ban.
Both of these instances were at a time where the previous top-tier Predator build had been banned, and every faction was taking a shot at trying to control that niche. In the Triassic, builds like Postosuchus were great at terrorizing the Synapsid player base. The top-tier Synapsid, Lystrosaurus, was dominating the meta, so having a good matchup against them meant a free top-tier spot. However, these terrestrial proto-crocodilians quickly lost their top-tier status as the more mobile dinosaurs started competing. And in the Paleogene, almost the exact same thing happened. Galloping crocodilians dominated the early meta, but once the mammal player base started competing for the top-tier predator spot, once again the croc player base couldn't keep up and was forced back into their traditional aquatic ambush role. So yeah, sorry Cheetah Gator fans, you can try again after the next major balance patch. But for now, there's no shame in sticking to the tried and true game plan Crocs have perfected over the past several balance patches.
There's a reason they stayed around for such a long time, even before the dinosaurs, because this works. Don't fix what's not broken.
They're undoubtedly a top-tier predator, and
Top
I can't see their placement on the tier list changing anytime soon. Hopefully this video did a good enough job covering the Crocodilians' optimal strategy and counterplay. Much of the footage featured in this video is from a documentary called Caring Killers, a film which explores the Nile crocodile build's hunting prowess, but also focuses on showing off the dedication and intelligence demanded from crocodile mains as they guard their respawn points and help new croc players get started. It's an impressively interesting documentary, and goes into a lot more depth than I'm able to do in a single YouTube video. If you're interested in watching it, you can gain access to Caring Killers, as well as thousands of other high-quality nonfiction titles, by signing up for CuriosityStream. The subscription is only $2.99 a month, or you can get a
Give me the link
for $14.79. So yeah,
here we go. Yep, guys, if you're interested in getting CuriosityStream, I'm pretty sure this link still works, and now it comes bundled with Nebula. Go ahead and check out curiositystream.com/TierZoo and support the channel, because this is an amazing video. I'm surprised he didn't talk about how fast they run relative to their body size on land, because I've definitely seen videos of crocodiles just running the absolute unit, just running straight at a prey. But yeah, regardless, it was a really good video. We got to see why they were around since long before the dinosaurs and up to now. I mean, yeah, I think the other one that has lived longer, if not alongside the dinosaurs, are sharks, I believe. So yeah, there are really only a handful of animals that are alive today that have been alive for so long. So if you get a chance, definitely go ahead and visit a zoo safely, of course, as during the release of this episode. I don't know if a lot of people will be watching this in the future, but yeah, at the time of this episode's release, we're still fighting against COVID. So yeah, visit a zoo with the proper health precautions. Wear a mask, obviously. But yeah, this is your chance to get to see a real live dinosaur. So go ahead and check it out. But that's gonna be it for me today, guys. Link to my Twitter is down in the description below. Go ahead and check it out if you want to. And if you're new here and enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like. Let me know your thoughts on the video down in the comment section below, and consider subscribing. Also, don't forget to leave your suggestions on what I should check out next, anime or YouTube video. That being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!